And I'm David. And we're talking about Big Brother.
It's a double eviction week!
We are getting down to it now. Things are getting good. We had like one boring episode, and now
which was really like
stuff
a
is going
couple
down.
boring weeks. But that's nothing for this whole season.
That's right. So we're going to recap Wednesdays and Thursdays episode, which includes that double eviction. Then we'll give some spoilers. As usual. Okay. So we're starting with Wednesday's episode where we get to see these family messages from people's families, which was touching, and then it was kind of heartbreaking at the end.
Yeah. I mean, they're always sad because, gosh, these people have been, it's 80 plus days of no outside contact and just a visual of someone you care about being like, we love you.
And someone who you can trust 100%, like unconditionally.
And you just lose it.
Right.
Like, oh man, JC's. I don't think he's really talked much about. Like, he's talked to Casey about, like, coming out and stuff like that, but I was not fully aware that his family
wasn't either.
Like, over him, and that's really tough to see.
Like, to not even get a message from his family. Like, we love you, we support you. Like, that's really rough. And, like, you know, how nice of his friend to do that, but, like... He was like, yeah, she's a good friend, but like everybody else had family and I'm the only one. So that really sort of humanized JC for
I know. It reminded me that he was a person with feelings and I felt bad for him and maybe a glimpse of why he's kind of a not nice person sometimes. Because he's been through some stuff.
Right.
So that was a tough one to see.
It was. And then we go into the veto competition, and when they pick players, the only person who is potentially a replacement nominee for the first eviction this week is JC. And he's the only person who doesn't get picked to play the veto. It's like this revamped BB Comics, right?
Right, it's a little different because they didn't have to fly by to memorize. I liked it. I liked the like digital subway board things. I was dying laughing watching Sam just ruin it.
She was close the first time,
The first time!
She only missed one. And then she just kept missing different ones, and she clearly was not paying attention.
No, she doesn't really pay attention to that stuff.
And then Brett broke the course during
Brett's was pretty funny. I enjoyed that.
And the one that was the most difficult was that Winston one. Because, like, how do you even, no one's paying attention to how his hands are in the original.
But even if you're, like, looking. If you're just looking here like this, you're not even going to notice.
No, you're not.
That takes some real
So that was, I think, if anybody got that right on the first try, which obviously Casey did based on her time, I think it was a complete guess. Nobody, I think, saw that and was like, oh, I remember which way Winston's hands went. Like, that was meant to make everybody do the course more than once, probably.
But Casey didn't have to do it more than once.
No, she didn't.
Girl, that time.
2 minutes and
then everyone on the couch was like, oh, what?
Whoa, And the funny part was that the two people on the block had the absolute, by far, worst times. Haley and Sam both totally blew it. I think they were both over 12 minutes. Casey was 2-something, Tyler was 6-something. So Casey wins veto. And she has all the power on her HOH week, which is great for her.
And of course, she does not change the noms, as we discussed in our last video. So that takes us to Thursday's episode. Well, a few things had happened on the feed before Thursday's episode. And they did show us a little bit of it at the top, where it was like they were speculating on the double eviction. And Brett brought up some things to Tyler. Therefore, Tyler brought up some things to Casey. And we'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute. The first eviction goes as we guessed.
Haley goes out 4-0, unanimous vote. Goodbye, Haley. She saw it coming. We all saw it coming. She leaves, has a perfectly lovely interview with Julie. Let's
all just remember that Haley blew up her game when she was the hacker and called a house meeting.
That's right.
And that's true. That's when the rest of the house said, oh, she's after Tyler. Tyler's like, she's got to go. And she stayed for weeks after that.
So good for her.
I feel like all of those weeks were a gift.
Absolutely.
Granted, she was on the block for most of them, but like, you know, it's really impressive that she went out
Yeah.
7.
On day 85 or something, you know, like that's good for her.
Right.
Now, the goodbye messages I thought were interesting here.
They played hilariously.
They set this up so perfectly, the production staff did.
Yes.
So Casey and Angela both blame it on Brett. And then Brett gets on there and he's like, we still friends after this. I'm so sorry. The rest of the house wanted you out.
And
he
it's like, specifically said Angela, Casey, Tyler.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh my God.
Yeah, it was so perfect.
But of course, who does Haley believe?
Right. So.
The wrong people.
Exactly. So she's going to the jury house and she's, you know, pissed at Brett after her eviction.
So now we go into the double eviction. Right. First we see the HOH.
Right.
Tyler wins it.
Of course.
Of course. He was gunning for it. They had made this plan, Angela and Casey. Yeah. So, and he knew that JC and Brett had a plan of their own. He knew that neither one of them could win.
Yeah.
So Tyler wins HOH and he puts JC and Sam up.
How great was that to see JC go on the block?
And JC is just like, oh. Oh,
right, because he has no everything's happening so fast, and that's what's great about a double eviction. Yes. But like, he didn't have the opportunity to speak up and be like, no, I would never do this to you. It just happens, and all of a sudden he's on the block.
You don't get to do that anymore anyway.
So JC, it's like, you know, the color drains out of his face, and he's kind of like, you can see the wheels turning. Like, is Tyler turning on me? Am I going home?
Right. I mean, Tyler's his bro. Like, he's tight with Tyler, and Tyler just put him on the block. What's going on? Yeah. Well. Doesn't matter because we're looking for who wins veto. That's right. What's important here. And Tyler briefly tells Brett, don't even win. Don't do it.
Don't worry about it.
Blood on my hands.
Yeah. And Brett's kind of like, what? Oh.
I have to imagine Brett got a little bit of a red flag. Again, everything's so fast that maybe he didn't fully process it.
Right.
But it did look like he was fighting for the veto. It didn't look like he listened.
No, it didn't look like he was throwing it to anybody. They're all gunning for the veto because you have to at this point. There's so few people in the house. You gotta go for every competition.
Plus, I feel like Brett wants to win stuff. Yeah. And he didn't win as much as he probably wanted to. So,
but Angela just sort of like has a vision for this veto competition and she pulls it out.
She did really well.
So Tangela has all the power this week.
Yes. They go ahead with this blindside that they had concocted between the three of them. This was the first time that level 6 turned on themselves.
That's right.
And the first little victim was Brett.
I mean, I was loving it, right? Because like, this is what I've been waiting for. I've been waiting for them to take shots at each other. And I sort of realized that, oh, Tyler and Casey and like, people were just sort of sitting back and waiting for somebody else in level 6 to just even whisper about breaking up the alliance. And then they pounced and were like, well, Brett brought it up that we have to take a shot at each other. So now we're going to use that as an excuse to get him out. So it was like, too bad for Brett that he was the first one to even say anything about breaking level 6 up, because then they're just pinning it on him and evicting him.
I guess. Let's go ahead and say the double eviction works out where Angela takes JC down, Tyler puts Brett up, and obviously Brett's like, well, you guys have this plan. He doesn't blow anything up. And
which I thought was interesting.
He is evicted.
Yeah, maybe he'll blow things up once he gets to the jury house, depending on how he sort of processes what happens, but I think in the moment, he just didn't really go there, you know? He was just like...
Well, he was caught off guard. Yeah. And he did have a point in his interview with Julie of like, I've remained calm and that has saved my butt. Yeah. So if he had any chance of changing their minds...
True.
It was not blowing up.
Yeah.
But, you know, obviously they're doing this for a reason.
Now,
so they're not going to change their minds.
Yeah, totally. And I didn't really understand why they felt the need to do the blind side. I understand the backdoor plan. You can't tell him that you're going to put him up, and you can't give him the opportunity to like take himself off and whatever. But once the veto happened and Angela won, why did she lie to him and say, oh yeah, we're keeping noms the same? Like, why can't she just say, look, we're making the move, we're putting you up. There's still nothing he can do about.
There's no need to do that though.
To tell him?
Yeah, don't tell him and give him a chance to blow things up.
I guess so.
You gotta wait till the last minute.
Yeah. You gotta catch him off guard.
Once he's put on the block, he knows what's gonna happen, and then you don't have to talk about it. It is what it is.
Okay.
Right?
Fair enough. Fair enough.
This is what went down. Brett finally had a deeper, longer talk with Tyler about if it's the 4 of us of level 6, we come in 3rd and 4th.
Yeah.
If it's the 2 of us with JC and Sam in top 4, we can win.
Yeah.
And so he says, double eviction's probably coming up. That's the time to make a move. We gotta break up Casey and Angela. Casey's winning too much. He kind of was gearing towards Casey in his talk. This is where my head explodes a little. Okay, Brett's in their alliance. Brett does have more of a chance to win than JC, if we're comparing the two. But JC's been talking about this for weeks.
Yeah. It's been JC's idea to break up Angela
and Tyler knows this because JC has told Tyler.
There was a whole segment in the show that we saw where they're in the bathroom mirror together and JC is like really trying to drive this point home and Tyler's so annoyed. So we know that Tyler knows that this is JC's plan.
Has protected JC for weeks, did not bring it up till just this past weekend. He brought it up to Casey. Casey dismisses, no big deal.
Yeah.
Now he immediately runs to Casey as soon as Brett says this.
Yeah.
And he's like, all of my suspicions came true. Brett is gunning to split us up. He wants you two girls up and out. He wants to do it this double eviction.
And Casey's like, he's gotta go.
Yep.
Brett's out.
That's it. And I was like, what? We know that this is JC. JC started it.
Right.
But they immediately cut Brett. I guess because he was an alliance member and he should be more loyal. I don't know.
But it also, that's why I think they were all waiting to pounce on one of their own and to have a reason to do it. Not just like, well, I think you're a threat. Now they can say, Brett, you are actually a threat because you are going after me. I gotta get you out.
Right.
And they were just waiting for that moment and they saw it and they just jumped on it.
Yeah.
But it also suggests how Tyler's feeling about JC. Sarah has a great theory about this.
This is my thing. Okay, I can't get into it yet, so let's talk about spoilers first.
Okay, yes.
Okay.
Spoilers.
Okay, after Thursday's episode, they played HOH.
Yes.
Who wins HOH?
Angela.
Angela, of course.
Yes. So who's going on the block? Sam and JC.
JC and Sam will go on the block. They're doing the BB Rexa concert today, so noms are not happening at the normal time.
Yeah.
Or maybe they did and we don't know. Feeds have just been down.
Yes.
But that's the obvious noms that are going up.
Right.
But here's where I start to get a little in my head about Tyler.
Okay.
Obviously, Tyler has set himself up great. This 5 that we have, every single one of them takes Tyler to final 2. Yeah. He's solid. Yeah. He's good to go.
I really don't see a scenario where Tyler does not make it to final 2.
Right. 100%.
Yeah.
During the double eviction, we saw a little bit of Sam throwing Angela under the bus. And what does Tyler do immediately after the show's over and, you know, they're back to living their life? He gives Angela and Casey all that information. Yep. Sam's talking about Angela. She said this, she said that, she said this. Then he also makes a point to say that everything was Brett's fault. The fact that Sam and JC were talking about Casey and Angela was all because of Brett. It was Brett made them think this. Brett.
Which is great because Brett's not there to defend himself.
Sure,
nobody can go and ask Brett. So.
But we all know that Tyler knows that that's not the truth.
Yeah. Right.
So he is straight up lying to Casey and Angela to protect JC.
Yeah.
Why? Here's my question. Why?
Why?
At this point, why?
Out of Sam and JC, if they are the 2 people who do end up on the block this week, clearly JC is a bigger target than Sam, or should be.
He's
a bigger
for Casey
threat
and
to
Angela,
win. Right.
because he has said he would come after them.
Yes.
And Angela doesn't like JC. She has said he annoys me. He would be the obvious choice in their target this week.
Yes.
But everything they said last night was Sam. Sam's the target. We're going after Sam. Sam. Great. Sam's gone. Tyler's protecting JC. And I ask you why. The only reason would be if he wants to take JC to final 2.
Yep.
That's the only reason you protect JC at this point.
You gotta keep him around.
You guys, is he gonna do that? This is mind-blowing to me.
I mean, it's crazy to me. I get it now that Tyler feels like he can't take Casey to final 2. I think for a long time, Casey was his final 2 because she wasn't doing anything in the game.
She was just nice and loyal. She had his back.
Yes.
Safe person to take to final 2.
Now, she won 3 vetoes in a row. She was HOH. She's won the hacker. She has a great resume in a final 2 scenario. So I think Tyler has sort of realized like, ooh, I can't take Casey anymore. The thing that I don't understand is why Tyler doesn't see that he should take Angela. Because the jury hates Angela. and he's in love with her. So bring her. You don't have to like...
Is he?
Well, I guess that's a whole other thing. But they're in a showman's.
Yes.
And if it's real, he doesn't have to like, you know, create any bad blood there. He gives her $50,000 by bringing her to the final two, and he guarantees himself a win because the jury will never give Angela that money.
Yes. Look, I kind of, out of the three of them, I kind of root for Casey. I say give Casey the win.
Oh, yeah.
That's just my personal opinion.
Yeah.
All three of them have a great case. I kind of feel bad that Angela decided to be the bitchy villain role.
I know.
It was kind of entertaining to watch, but like, you're just not going to win.
No. Even though you've won comps and
threw
like...
that out the window. Yeah, you can do stats all day long, but they're still not going to vote for you.
No, because they hate you.
In that case, Tyler should just take Angela.
Yes, but he seems to be protecting JC.
I just question
to
why.
Bring him, yeah.
I mean, maybe I'm completely wrong, and maybe I'm also just overreacting.
Yeah.
Like, who cares? But it just seems suspicious to me that he has continuously protected JC.
Yep. Now here, I think I would love to talk about speculation. Where do we go after this? Essentially, it's another double eviction this week, right?
Right. We have an eviction on Wednesday and Thursday.
Right. So more than likely, Sam is going to go home on Wednesday. Then we're down to the final four, right? Casey, Tyler, Angela, and JC. Angela cannot compete for HOH at this point.
No.
So JC's probably not going to win anything. And it's down to Casey or Tyler as HOH. Right. Does Tyler want to be HOH so he can decide who to put on the block? Or does he want Casey to win HOH so he can be the single vote cast and decide who goes home?
So at first I thought, oh, well, he'll want to win HOH. If he's trying to take JC to final two, he'll want to win HOH so that he can put...
Casey and Angela?
But would he do that? That seems extreme.
But he would have to, because if he's HOH and puts JC up next to either Angela or Casey, the other girl is going to vote to evict JC.
Right.
So Tyler doesn't get any say
unless he
there.
somehow magically convinces Casey to evict Angela or vice versa. But I mean, I guess his beautiful eyes and curls could just sweet talk their way to Angela's heart and say, look, we got to cut Casey. She's won too many comps.
Yeah.
Let's keep JC.
Yeah.
I mean, is that his plan? I don't know.
Maybe it would be.
He...
Like, look, we're in love.
Right.
It's us final two together. We have to cut Casey because, let's be honest, JC's not going to win anything in the finale, and we can just cut him at that point.
I mean, he might be able to sell that to either girl.
Yeah.
He seems to be able to do that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Or does he say, Casey, why don't you take this HOH? I'll be the deciding vote. And she's then forced to put Angela and JC up, assuming that obviously they're going to get rid of JC. But then the last minute, Tyler votes to get rid of Angela.
Yeah, right. Because if Casey wins HOH, my bet would be Tyler definitely wins veto because, like,
of course,
he can win a comp when he needs to or wants to.
Yeah.
So he'd win the veto and guarantee that he can cast the vote, and then he can just decide what's best for his game in that moment. But I really don't see a situation where Tyler does not call the shots from here on out.
No, of course not.
He's going to put himself in a position to make sure that who he wants to go home is going home from here on to the end of the game.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know that he gets the votes to win. That's up to the jury.
Absolutely.
But he has set himself up the best possible way I could imagine.
To make it to the finale, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, a lot of people online are speculating that we're going to have a bitter jury this year. So who knows how that's going to shake out and in whose favor.
Right. I imagine that the jury was bitter up until this point, but Brett's gonna give them a little bit more info, and not in a
level 6 thing.
Spiteful way, because they're all just sitting in jury, and he's gonna be like, yeah, level 6 has been doing this, Tyler, I was working with Tyler, like, he's just gonna start revealing stuff, and they have time to chill. Haley's a little more level-headed, like, they can talk about this stuff now, and so I don't know that they're definitely bitter. Even if they are bitter, Tyler did a great job of keeping his hands pretty clean the first half of this game. Yeah. So do they even know to be bitter against him? Right. They might be so confused, as a Falte is.
Yeah, I know.
That they don't even know who to be bitter against.
Yeah, that they don't know that he has masterminded every one of their evictions.
Right. I think that they would be bitter against Angela and Brett.
Yeah.
But guess what? that's not Tyler.
Yeah, and Angela and Brett are probably going to be in the jury, so they don't have anybody to be mad at that point.
You guys. So. Oh my gosh. The speculation, we don't know.
I know.
Is crazy. That was a fun double eviction, even though I'm kind of sad to lose Brett just for the entertainment value.
Totally.
He did make me laugh.
Yeah. And we're getting basically another double eviction this week, so that's exciting. And then the finale is
the following week.
Yeah.
But we'll be at Final 3 at the end of next week, a week from now.
Yeah.
What did you guys think about this double eviction? What do you think about level 6 and Tyler?
Yeah. Where is it going from here? Let us know, and we will see you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye.